Now, please welcome.
Just the 15th game this season, all in the starting lineup. So here we go. The regular season.
We've seen him in a Pistons uniform over the last couple of seasons. Now coming a little more east to play for the Nets.
Between the legs goes Embiid to Tyrese Maxey, who scoops it high off the
handoff between the legs, so far up on top of the key. He turned that corner and found really very little resistance on his way to the cup.
Mention this guy in our open, Pennsylvania's own Cameron Johnson, who had 37 points, including 9 made threes in the Nets' losing efforts here in November. A good crossover by
founding group as well, so you've got to make sure.
It was so cold that night, but a rock fight. And Paul George finishing that one with just 2 points in defeat.
Yeah, and I thought the Nets overall were the team that played harder for 4 quarters. Yep. They deserved that.
Playing hard, last 8 versus the Sixers, who've lost 6 in a row. The Nets have won 6 of 8 and one
zone here.
Sixers losing. Will give and go for Brooklyn. And Keon Johnson in 2021, he had a 48-inch vertical, which was a combine record. If my math is correct, that is 4 feet in the air.
That is 4 feet in the air, and you can see how he went off at 2 feet. Speaking of
yes, like this a lot. Talked about how well he played against these Nets in November, and 26 in the same play. With a Maxey splitting the defense, trying to scoop it out to George, but gets it back himself. Directing traffic. Kelly left alone in the corner. Just a little bit too strong on the 3. Good ball movement there by the Sixers. And there's Hayes. And that's what he overall back in that 2020 draft because of the natural point guard that he is.
Yeah, and you see Johnson just beating everybody down the floor. That's just an effort play right there.
Maxey sneaks it to Joel. Kelly curling around Embiid. And then from that shot, it did look like the ball first.
Nice job by our crew to catch that replay.
Who has had a long day, Ala. Most of
oh my goodness.
Most of our camera ops shot the fly yesterday.
Yeah, Nick's defensive struggles really came to the fore again.
From the floor, 2 for 2 from outside. He's got 8. Embiid is yet to score tonight. Only attempted 1 shot. Quentin Grimes from the corner, a good find from him.
Coming, he figures out where it's coming from, leaving Quentin Grimes wide open.
Quentin, of course, with his season high 30 points in the loss to the Nets. Killian got it around it and up and in.
Well, athletic is Hayes. His decision-making is, I think, one of the things he's still working on as a player, trying to figure out this game and understand how to play it.
Yeah, he's still a young guy.
But there's no doubt about his abilities.
Maxey misses on one end, but plays good defense on the other, altering the Johnson shot.
Yeah, good job of not fouling Johnson on that drive, right? Make him make that tough shot because they're a good free throw shooting team.
George around and out on the 3-pointer. And here comes Nick Claxton, 8 points, 9 rebounds. In the first game out of the break for the Nets on Thursday. George fighting through the screen. Williams off the window. His 4th year out of Stanford, he known high school, right? And was on the team with Bronnie James and Zaire Wade. Had options to go to Arizona, North Carolina, UCLA, USC. Opted to go up to Stanford. I remember that was a coup for the Stanford Cardinals. And there's Joel.
The post up, they will give Joel more often than not that little jump shot.
Shot doesn't go. Oubre's putback attempt doesn't fall either. And the Sixers down a couple of guys. Oubre and Maxey still working back into frame. Williams with the corner 3. He already has a couple of threes to his name tonight.
Trying to post up Joel with Claxton fronting him, frustrating Joel.
Yeah, those two always have interesting battles when they meet up. Maxey wide right on the floater attempt. Johnson pushing for the Nets. 6 so far for Cam Johnson, 6 for Williams. Oubre tasked with trying to slow Cam Johnson down. Sidestep. Tough performance, Quentin Grimes.
But Kelly Oubre said Quentin was exactly what you want to see from a new guy. If you're going to do it.
Again, were the leaders for this team in the last game before the All-Star break up in Brooklyn, both with 30-point performances because they were aggressive, just like Paul George is here. Through 3 Nets.
Defenders.
During the All-Star break and making his Sixer debut right here.
Doing a good job. Started off, he didn't have that in his game, little turnaround jumper, so you can see he's been working on his stuff.
He played very well in the last 8 games. Again, mentioned the Nets 6-2 in their last 8. Keon Johnson flying across the lane to intercept that pass.
Yeah, and a little impatient on that pass from PG, trying to force it into Joel.
And good work by PG to win it back, breaking up that pass by Brooklyn. Embiid tonight. Embiid coming at the free throw line. That defeat, it's his first 2 tonight. It's Tyrese Martin, another Pennsylvania guy. Got a lot of them on the floor tonight. Jalen Wilson, 22 in black. 4 years with the Kansas Jayhawks. Former Tennessee Volunteer, Keon Johnson, around a couple of Sixers. Embiid altering the shot.
And you know, the thing about that is that wasn't bad defense on the floor, some playmaking as well. I thought he played well last time these 2 teams faced each other.
Right there with you. David Roddy has checked into the game. Embiid finds him.
Baseline, nice catch and finish.
High edge there for Paul George, and then Johnson. That one's just too easy. Keon led the Nets to victory just before the break. He had 22 for the Nets in that one, but rolled his ankle on Thursday. Unavailable tonight. Cam Thomas still out. Noah Clowney and Anthony Melton out as well for the Nets. But again, Keon Johnson can get going. Double comes. Embiid over to Walker. Lonnie Walker rises and leaves that 3 short. Good offensive rebound by Roddy. Embiid with a mismatch. Lonnie Walker the 4th. Too strong, long rebound to George. Tyrese Maxey for 3.
That exchange lasts a little longer by just hustling and fighting the Nets for those loose ball rebounds. Nice job from your Sixers.
It's not been a forte of the Sixers this season. Johnson unable to finish that time. Sixers pushing. Johnson still in the backcourt. Maxey to Embiid.
Too many people on that side.
Yeah. See if they can get the spacing right. Good work by Roddy to cut away, try to create some space. Embiid's 3 halfway down. Before it pops back out.
You said it, though. It was a good cut by David because he took his defender.
Picks it up, swings it out. On the other side of the floor. That one, Woman is checked in for the first time tonight. So 3 new Sixers on the floor. Grimes, Roddy, and Walker. Along with Tyrese Speakman. 25 tournaments offering Tournament-Series for more information. Ollie and I will be coaching one of those teams. That would be something, wouldn't it? Foul on this.
Observer. I was just going to say, look at this 2% from the field.
Tyrese Maxey needs some help. Picked up his dribble in the corner. Grimes nicely done to get across the timeline before those 8 seconds. And then Grimes lays it up and in. Not just on Thursday, but all season for these Sixers.
Yeah, and again, we talked about these are fixable things,
yeah.
Right? You have to communicate. You have to embrace that end of the floor, first of all, and embrace the challenge as a defender.
Yes, that is not the...
Yeah, that weak side defense is caught staring at the basketball. And again, we've said this before, with Sharp, his read is not a...
And looking for their 3rd consecutive road win. Their 7th win in 9 games. Sixers looking to snap a 6-game slide tonight. Roddy on Watford. 1 second, gets it up. Lawyers. Great to have so many step teams and bands and dance teams in the house tonight. That one way off. Andre and Tyrese Martin still down in the backcourt as a result. Gershani Abusele into the game for the first time tonight. And then Martin comes back in a frame just in time to pick off that pass. Speakman came over in the Schroeder trade in mid-December. That also brought former Sixer to him.
Wow, there could have gone to Sharp.
Nets shot 75% in that first quarter. 15 for 20 from the field. Sixers have to do a better job contesting shots. Looks like they will not. Xfinity.
Up the inbounds here. The Sixers aren't aware of the double by Nerdwalk.
Love that, big to big. Andre skips it to Gershon. And the spacing not quite right again. A lot of guys who haven't played together much. Watford behind Gershon. 2 guys right near him. Sharp comes over for the block. Comes to Drummond though. For the Sixers here tonight.
A lucky bounce that ends up in Andre's lap. He knows what to do with it quickly. At point-blank range, he finishes.
We will take it. Have not gotten many of those lucky bounces this season. Watford lost it. Martin left alone. Too strong on the 3. Can't connect from 3. Drummond the rebound. Paul George had a good start tonight. Scored a couple of times early. Stuck on those 4 points. The double comes, and he turns it over. Grimes with 5. 3 away from 2,000 points in his career. Another Sixers turnover.
Telegraphing those passes to where the Nets can anticipate them and get a piece.
Watford. Good move. Couldn't finish.
Heck of a move.
Grimes 1-on-4. And he's blocked by Clapp.
6 and 2 in their last 8, so they're playing well.
Yeah. Johnson picks off the Grimes pass. Quentin was trying to sneak it inside to Paul George. Couldn't do so.
Another telegraph pass.
And empty possession for the Sixers.
Simply cannot have those 3, 4, 5-point swings where you come up empty, then you give up precious points down the other end of the floor.
Nets shooting 62%. Sixers 44%. Tough shot. Standings tied right now with the Sixers in defensive rating. Those often are these days. And the net defense locked down other teams.
Yeah, give yourself a chance every night.
Sixers 6th turnover tonight. Johnson the drive and kick. And Wilson another. Sixers 3 turnovers their last 4 trips down. Paul George catch and shoot. Needed that one.
Aggressive. 2 of 3 overall from the field is Paul with 9 points.
Sixers now 5 of 12 from 3, 42%. Johnson short as he attempts to answer.
Oh my God.
Down, put that up to the glass and in.
Yeah, I don't know how it got to rim level, but it did.
In a moment, Taryn, as we get situated up here, but yeah, I mean, I would have been one of those people walking by Taryn trying to take that jersey away from her. Unfortunately, the Nets take it away from the Sixers there. Cam Johnson just steps into a 3, off back iron. Oubre the rebound.
Yeah, he has been cold in his last 3 long-range attempts, has Johnson. Let's hope that remains.
Yeah, Kelly to the cup, but blocked by Claxton. So Nick Claxton heating up on the defensive end. Sixers stuck on 39 with just under 6.5 to go in this first half.
That is a pretty cool keepsake right there.
That's pretty impressive stuff. And for those of you wondering, all of these are size 15 U.S. and size 50 2/3 in France.
That sounds about right.
Does that sound about right? Here, Nick Claxton.
In the press release, that I think for certain generations of TikTok experience that you can partake in, where you make a TikTok with Jared McCain, who is around in great spirits and was playing tag yesterday at practice. So I did want to give that update as well.
Okay, love to see that. Tyrese Maxey showed on that 3-point attempt. So Tyrese started scorching hot tonight and has come back to earth. This guy right there, Killian Hayes, was a part of the final roster cuts for Team France. He was hoping to be a part of that roster because that had to be such an incredible experience playing for France in Paris.
Yeah. Our former Nick Batum was captain of.
In this first half, Johnson, quick trigger, and continues to struggle from outside. Good rebound by Lonnie Walker.
Yeah, good ability to keep it in there. Knew where he was in relationship to that baseline Walker.
Embiid straight on triple, no good. Williams the rebound. So Cam Johnson now 0 for 4 from 3. The Nets just 4 for 13. So the Sixers doing a better job contesting threes tonight than they did on Thursday, but too many of those. What is that, the 5th?
At that time, Paul George is covering Johnson. He thinks his
15 for Brooklyn. 3.5 to go in this first half. Tyrese Maxey, side step triple. Around and off the glass and out. So now Tyrese can buy a bucket after he couldn't miss in the first quarter.
5 of 17 from long range are your Sixers.
Nice little push shot on the base.
Change things up.
And halftime.
Yeah, feel good about yourself and your prospects before you head into the locker room for that 15-minute talk.
Hayes trying to scoop it at Claxton, wasn't ready for it.
One-handed pass, can't pull it back out when things change in front of you.
And Embiid now cutting the lead from 17 down to 13. Let's see if they can get it to single digits at least in these final 2:30 of the second quarter. 7th overall in 2020 for the Pistons with these Nets on Thursday. Angelo Russell for Brooklyn.
Yeah, by design, if you go over to Europe, it is really hard to be seen over there on a regular basis. But if your goal is to crack the NBA lineup and get back in the league, the G League is a much better bet because you're definitely more exposed to the people that are making the decisions.
Another turnover by the Sixers.
Good pass.
It's a difficult pass from Tyrese Maxey. And better defense there by Oubre. Claxton missing the layup as a Sixers on a little 7-1 run before we stepped away. Cutting again. What was once a 17-point lead down to 11. Let's see what they can do here. Grimes Guarding Watford, Brendan spinning away from him and laying it up.
And I think that's going how Quinton stopped playing defense because of that bump knee, but Watford continued to make his move.
Grimes, slot triple. Too strong on that one.
Good kick from PG.
10 assists on 15 made field goals now for the Sixers. 6. Shot clock at 5.
Good job making them operate as far away from the basket as possible.
Tough shot for Watford. Good defense by PG and company. Here's Maxey.
Good defense all the way around.
Oubre with a baseline flush. Often leads to success in every sport, especially this one. 63-52 Brooklyn.
Double screen up top.
Johnson trying to back cut Jordan. Watford no from beyond. Good rebound by PG.
Good block out on Johnson by that rebound, or leading to that rebound, I should say.
Kelly, baseline, trying to drop it off to Embiid. Wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, that's a tough one to catch for Joel. We talk about when you're inside the lane there, those bounce passes are the ones that the big guys can see coming. But that one, chest high, head high, that's a tough one for Joel to snatch.
Shot clock's on. Final 8 seconds of the first half. Watford keeping it himself. Over to Johnson. Heaves.